Hello everybody and welcome back to another one of those videos where I talk about updates in the Steam version of Dwarf Fortress coming from Toady1 and KitFox. If you saw the video, or the last video I uploaded talking about the Goblin Sieges and gameplay, you may have heard that I mentioned in that video that I was going to upload another video talking about the squad screen that was in that video. Little did I know that Toady1 was just going to release the entire thing on the website later that day. Anyway, here's that. Let's talk about it. So the first screen that I was originally going to talk about from the video that I posted last with gameplay of sieges and lots of violence, you should go watch that video, but this is the squad UI. So this is actually very similar to the current UI in the game. I'm working on another video, which will go up in a couple of days, doing kind of a comparison side by side of what the current UI looks like versus a new one, for those of you who don't play the current version of the game and don't know what they're looking at. But this looks very similar to the current version of the game. It is very simplistic. You have your squads there. This menu allows you to select a squad and tell the squad where to go. So that's what the check mark's going to be there. You can create a new squad there, and I'm assuming you could probably add dwarves directly to that squad via this menu if you so choose. The new squad button, I think, is actually new here. This menu actually confuses a lot of people in the main game, I find, because they don't realize that you can quite literally run your entire military using only the squad screen. These other screens that we're about to take a look at are where things got a little bit more complicated in the current version of the game, or more traditional versions of Dwarf Fortress, and that's what's gotten heavily reworked, so let's jump into those now. This is the other half of the squad screen. So this is once you've selected an individual squad. If you want, you can select only specific dwarves to give them commands and orders and where they're going to head around. This was traditionally found by hitting the P key, if I remember correctly. I almost never use this feature, and I usually do it by accident in the current game, and don't generally worry about it too much. But then using letters on the keyboard, you could select individual dwarves. Of course, here you can just simply click. I also love that you can edit the name of the squads directly from this screen too. That's really nice, as well as being able to, assign new dwarves by, I'm assuming, clicking the assign position and then selecting a dwarf from the other screen. And here we have the squad customize button. So this is going to let you do, once again, change the name. You can let them just select any metal headwear, or you could say leather armor, or different materials of armor, or specific types of weapons. Each dwarf is just going to pick up whatever weapon is of the highest value that they prefer. So if they're maybe privy to axes, they'll pick up the highest value axe. However, from this screen, you could specify only specific types of weapons, only specific materials of weapons, or even a specific weapon. Maybe you have a particular artifact weapon with a lot of kills on it and you want to give it to your commander, that kind of thing. So this is like your uniform screen. This is incredibly cleaned up compared to the current version. I always tell people that the current version is not as bad as people say it is once you kind of get used to it, but it is very fiddly, and even once you know what you're doing, it's not the most pleasant UI experience. In fact, I would say it's borderline abrasive to everything that we consider to be modern UI design. So that UI is significantly worse than what this is. This is awesome, actually. I think that this is kind of fantastic. Being able to just quickly click or select with the hotkeys and swap out things. This is where I'm actually going to use the mouse in the game. I'm probably not going to use the mouse too much when I'm controlling the game itself. Like building, managing my dwarves, all that stuff, I will probably still use some combination of hotkeys. But for this screen specifically, holy crap, this just looks so nice. I can't wait to get to use this. Now, the next screen is one that I know for a fact a lot of people entirely ignore. This is the squad screen. Now, the squad scheduling screen, rather. This is where you can add routes so that they go on and off duty during specific times of the day, or specific months of the year. They either train or go through routes around the fortress and patrol. I never use this in the base game. This is actually one of the elements of the game that is lost on me. I understand how it works and I know how to make it work, but in my experience, it's always been more effort and fiddling than it's worth. The only time I've really done it was when I had a fort that was patrolled by crossbow dwarves, which ended up, just dying pretty quickly anyway. I didn't do a very good job of managing it, but I find it very rare that I will actually use this feature in game. It's more or less a dead feature to me. So I think that this overhaul to this is actually amazing, and hopefully we'll see more people using it. And the actual monthly scheduling is the next screen that we'll see next. So based off of the previous schedule that we just looked at, which was the Dwarven scheduling, screenshot number 5, this is the monthly scheduling. So you can actually tell them whether or not they're going to be on duty, off duty, what month of the year. Of course, the months of the year in Dwarf Fortress are named after stone and ore types instead of, our months of the year on Earths. But I really, really, really like the way this UI looks. Like, it's very easy to just copy paste things. Everything just looks very simple. Of course, these dwarves are set to constant training 24/7. 365,000 years a day, and all that. And that's wonderful. They will be amazing at combat very soon and definitely won't have any long-term stress effects afterwards. Then, you could copy paste that and move them from different thing to different thing. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy to see this. I wasn't expecting this UI to be this good, but I understand what this does just looking at it. It's great. Can we all just revel in this for a second? All right, on to the next one. The final thing that we have for the screenshots is this. This is the route orders. So this is, again, something that's completely lost on me on the main game. I never use this feature normally. But as you can see in the actual background mapping of the world, you can see little dotted lines. That is their point routes where they will patrol, looking for troublemakers, looking for people invading your fort or stealing your artifacts. You could make them patrol around your walls and the upstairs if that's the way you wanted to play the game. You could have them patrolling around in the caverns and looking for pesky troglodytes or trolls coming to break into your fortress. Great for racking up kill count and also great for your dwarves' lack of mental health. I also love over here on the right, you can actually just immediately see at a glance what your dwarves are wearing. Currently, what you need to do is you need to find the dwarf, you need to select the dwarf and look. And that is, an artifact of ASCII, right? As helpful as ASCII and great as ASCII is, I do think that this is a very real improvement to just the minute-to-minute playability of the game itself. Also, you'll get to see dwarves that really don't like wearing armor, and you can mock them under your breath because you can physically see them not wearing armor instead of having to check their descriptions. Also, when there's a dwarf running around in only a loincloth, that's going to be entertaining. Just pointing it out there. Also, one little detail I'd like to note, shout out to that big-ass bedroom there with the socks and what look like gloves on the ground. Very dwarfy. All in all, it's been a busy editing week for me, and I've got more stuff coming. I'm working on a side-by-side video of kind of the Steam version versus the current version in ASCII. So I will have that out hopefully by the end of the week. But seriously, what do you think of this military screen? It's the happiest I've been since this project was announced. I'm not even gonna lie. I am ecstatic and over the moon about all of this UI. This is... I very much expected them to just kind of pretty up the current screen and put a nicer overlay on it. I didn't really expect it to be a full overhaul of all of the screens with the exception of the squads menu. I am so happy that they went this route. This is awesome. If you have any feedback, of course, leave it down in the description. Support Bay 12 Games on Patreon. Subscribe to the newsletter. Links in the description. It just boots you directly to KitFox Games' newsletter, so you don't even need me to post these videos. You'll just get the stuff already. And if you would like to support me directly, you can join this lovely list of patrons. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one, assuming I get it together before Friday.